I've done a lot of time on Capitol Hill doing different lobbying meetings. My mom has dropped me off to go to a different protest. I would just leave school and come to a protest for like an hour, hop back in the car, go back to school for math class. My name is Anoushka Chander. I'm 17 years old and I live in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to physically come to the Capitol, but with the group that I started, we've done a lot of virtual lobbying. So instead of being at the Capitol where it happens, we're in the Zoom room where it happens and talking to different staffers about a lot of voting rights legislation, especially with the election coming up in November.
How are you guys doing?
As a 17-year-old lobbyist, I think that the staffers enjoy meeting with us, meeting with young people, because we really care about these issues. We care about gun violence prevention. We care about rights for immigrants and refugees. We care about women's rights. We care about voting rights. This is the inside of our school that I can't go in, and I haven't been here since March. The Voter Mobilization Initiative is what I've been working on this summer, and it is through a group at my school that I founded at the start of my junior year called the Student Action Committee. We basically have over 30 students who are working to combat voter suppression to get people ready to vote in the general election. We also want to be able to hold our politicians accountable, and you can do all this through voting. This is how we participate in our democracy. And I think also for young people, starting to vote early is really a good idea because it creates like a culture of voting. So you're not just voting in your general elections, you're voting for your school board members, you're voting in local elections as well. So it's not just every 4 years you tune in for a presidential election. Every single time there's any election of some sort, you are a civically minded voter. I am not going to be old enough to vote this November, unfortunately, but I am working to get young people to sign up to work at the polls. We're going to go out there and staff polling places because that is a huge tactic of voter suppression, is closing polling places so that people can't vote. The youth movement in this country right now is so inspiring and important, and it's not just, it's a movement. We're getting things done. Activism is about the action that we take and the people that we meet along the way. I know people all across the country because just being connected with all these young activists is a really incredible thing in and of itself. We get advice from each other, we learn from each other, we teach each other, we uplift each other. And so for me, like, activism and advocacy is the way of life that I want to lead. And just continually being civically minded, being engaged, knowing about what's happening in the country. This is a super critical election, but all of them are pretty critical elections. So keep on showing up to the polls, keep on raising your voice, and also advocate for yourself and your communities. Like, my main mission is like, fight for what you love, be like a joyful warrior. Yeah.